Dear chosen one, get ready, because something sacred is being stirred on your behalf. This is not just another inspirational message to lift your spirits. No, this is a divine alert, a prophetic alignment coming straight from the throne room of heaven. There's a shift in the atmosphere already unfolding, and it's not abstract, it's precise. It has your name written all over it. When the calendar flips to Sunday, something invisible is going to move, something silent is going to speak, something long awaited is going to arrive. And when it does, you'll know it wasn't a random moment. It was a supernatural setup designed specifically for your story. This is your early notice, your sacred heads up. Your spirit was drawn here not by accident, but by divine direction. There are no coincidences in the kingdom of God. If you're hearing this right now, it's because heaven is preparing you to recognize what's coming. And what's coming will feel like a sudden download of favor, of clarity, of acceleration. You may not fully understand how it will arrive. It might not look like anything you anticipated, but it will feel like everything you've been quietly praying for. This Sunday, God is arranging an encounter, a divine collision between your obedience and His timing. And only you will be able to fully understand the weight of it. Others might miss it, but you won't, because you've been waiting, you've been sensing it. You've been spiritually tuned in, even through your silent battles. Chosen one, this message isn't to stir hype, it's to awaken readiness. Sunday will not be like every other day. It is charged with divine energy. It is an appointment on heaven's calendar. So don't underestimate it. Don't treat it like any other weekend. There is something powerful on the way, and it's meant just for you. A conversation that unlocks purpose, a revelation that silences confusion, a moment that doesn't just encourage you but activates you. You've been walking through the fog, but Sunday holds light. Not artificial light, divine clarity, the kind that makes all the waiting worth it. Let me pause here and say this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to every one of you who has donated through Super Thanks. Your support, your generosity, your spiritual investment, it helps us reach more souls, touch more lives, and keep this movement of truth and revelation alive. Whether you've given financially or simply opened your heart to these messages, I'm grateful for you. And if you haven't donated, know this: your presence is still a gift. Your prayers matter. Your energy matters. Your voice in the comments matters. Whether you give or not, you are deeply appreciated. This is a spiritual community, and your light helps make it brighter. In fact, I want you to participate in this moment. Don't just listen, engage. In the comments right now, type 999, but don't just type the number. Attach a wish, a declaration, a silent hope you've been carrying in your spirit. That comment is more than text. It's a signal, a spiritual ignition. When one chosen one makes a declaration, the air around them begins to shift. But when thousands come together in belief, the atmosphere begins to quake. Let this space be more than a platform. It's a place of manifestation. The more you declare, the more room you make for your blessings to land. Speak it, claim it, activate it. So, dear chosen one, let this moment be the spark, not of wishful thinking, but of divine expectancy. You are being positioned to receive. What happens this Sunday won't just shift your circumstances, it will shift the way you understand your own journey. You'll see how God was orchestrating every delay, using every detour, shaping every silence into strategy. That job you didn't get, that person who walked away, that season that broke you. It was all leading here to this next unfolding. And while others are distracted by the noise of the world, you've been quietly building your discernment. Now, it's about to pay off. This Sunday is more than a date. It's a door. You're not just being handed something, you're being invited into something. a season where your inner preparation meets divine revelation. And all heaven is asking is that you stay open. Don't harden your heart because of disappointment. Don't numb your faith because of delay. God's timing has not been denial, it's been design. Stay with this message until the very end. There are instructions, affirmations, and prophetic confirmations waiting for you. Your breakthrough won't come through force. It'll come through awareness. Your blessing won't require explanation. It'll be recognized by your spirit before your mind can comprehend it. And remember, this chapter is about wishes becoming real, not by magic, but by spiritual alignment. The unseen energy of your belief is already moving. Sunday is simply when the veil lifts. So breathe in, chosen one. Feel the weight of what's about to be revealed. Know that everything you've endured was not wasted. It was preparation. You're not arriving late. You're arriving right on time. And this time, the door doesn't open by effort. It opens by recognition. Now, type your 999. Leave your declaration. Bless the atmosphere. And let's begin. God's chosen ones, get ready for a Sunday surprise. Only 1% are prepared. This Sunday is not going to be just another date on the calendar for you, chosen one. It carries a pulse from heaven, something divinely designed to show up in your life in a form that may initially feel out of place, but is actually a perfect fit for your future. Have you ever received a message that didn't make full sense until months later? That's how this will feel. It might be a passing comment, a thought that interrupts your daily walk, an unusual text, or even an unexpected surge of peace right in the middle of your doubt. Whatever form it takes, it will not scream for attention. It will arrive like a whisper wearing royal robes. And if you're too distracted or disheartened, you might miss it. Why is this message arriving early? Because heaven doesn't deliver surprise packages to the unaware. It delivers them to the watchful, the weary, the warriors like you who've been moving by faith, even when no one was watching. Have you prepared your spirit to notice what your eyes might overlook? Right now, you are standing in a sacred in-between, not in the past anymore, but not fully arrived at the future either. It's that unsettling place where prayers feel suspended, hovering unanswered and unexplained. Do you feel it? That subtle tension in the atmosphere, like something is pacing around you, searching for an open door. That door is Sunday. That moment you've been quietly watering with prayer and obedience is about to break through the soil. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you obeyed in silence. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. This divine moment is the result of seeds planted in the dark. You didn't know your obedience was being watched, but heaven saw. The king took note. This is important. God doesn't send breakthroughs to the passive. He sends them to the persistent. Chosen one, this moment isn't random, it's a response. You were the one who kept moving when your knees were shaking. You smiled when your heart was breaking. You sowed light in places where shadows covered everything. You stayed faithful even when the logical option was to walk away. Think of Oprah Winfrey, rejected in her early career, but kept showing up with authenticity. Or Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for decades, yet never abandoning the vision placed in his spirit. Their preparation met divine timing. What if the same is true for you? What if this discomfort you're feeling isn't punishment, but positioning? And when God surprises you, He doesn't knock, He enters. That's what this will feel like. A holy interruption. A moment that doesn't fit human explanation, but fits your spirit with precision. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them and they follow me. John 10:27. That's how you'll know it's God. It won't match your logic, but it will settle your heart. The feeling won't be anxiety, it will be alignment. The moment won't require approval, it will carry authority. You'll feel it before you can explain it. just like Steve Jobs did when he dropped out of college and followed a quiet conviction. At the time it made no sense, but eventually the world caught up with the vision. Could it be that your moment is about to catch up with you? There's been a divine ripple circling your life, and this Sunday is the moment it touches ground. Don't see it as just one miracle. See it as the activation of a domino effect. After this moment, things will accelerate. Conversations will suddenly line up. Phone calls from people you haven't heard from in years will seem coincidental, but they won't be. Doors will open where walls once stood. Have you noticed how Tyler Perry was once homeless before doors began flying open for him all at once? That wasn't coincidence. That was culmination. And chosen one, your culmination is near. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. God's not just setting the table, He's calling you to sit down and feast. So if you've been feeling tension, pressure, or restlessness, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it's because your spirit already knows what's coming. That discomfort, it's the labor pains of breakthrough. It's your divine radar sounding off. Don't mistake it for weariness. It's a signal. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? Isaiah 43:19. Can you feel the atmosphere shifting? That's because the blessing isn't just coming. It's arriving. It's almost here, like the moment a thunderstorm rolls in after the wind changes. That's the kind of shift you're standing in. Are you ready to walk through that open door? You haven't been forgotten. You've been reserved. There is something incredibly sacred about this particular timing. It will feel like ease, like grace, like everything aligning without effort. But don't mistake that ease for luck. It's not luck. It's legacy. It's the result of 1,000 hidden acts of obedience, like the story of David, overlooked by men but handpicked by God. The Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. The door that's opening for you will not require begging. It won't need credentials. It will recognize your anointing. Your spiritual frequency is what's unlocking this door. Not hustle, not hype, alignment. So prepare your heart, chosen one. Don't just mark your calendar, mark your spirit. Get quiet, get aware, because what's coming is holy, it's sudden, it's intimate, and when it touches your life, you'll know without a doubt, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. Genesis 28:16. This Sunday won't just bring change, it will bring confirmation. And when it arrives, it will feel like destiny putting its hand on your shoulder and saying, you're right on time. This Sunday, on the surface, life may appear unchanged. The same routines, the same people, the same places. But for you, chosen one, the atmosphere will be radically different. Beneath the familiar lies something holy, an invisible charge, a current of divine energy woven into the details of your day. Can you sense it already stirring? If your spirit remains open, you'll feel its hum in your chest. If your heart dares to expect the unexpected, your eyes will begin to recognize it. And if your faith stays active, even just the size of a mustard seed, you will receive it. That's the key. Not striving, not scrambling, but staying spiritually available. Could it be that this moment you've been waiting on is already circling your field of vision, just waiting for you to notice? Sunday isn't merely a day, it's an appointment wrapped in disguise. It's a quiet invitation for your spirit to step into alignment with something only God could script. Think about that. How many life-altering moments began with a day that looked ordinary? When Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, it was just another bus ride, but it sparked a revolution. When Martin Luther King Jr. decided to march in Selma, it was just another day, but it split history open. What if this Sunday is your day like that? Not to start a movement for millions, but to experience a breakthrough designed specifically for your soul. That's why I'm telling you, chosen one, slow down. Treat this weekend like sacred ground. Don't just breeze through it. Walk as if heaven has laced the ground with clues. Take note of what stands out. Is there a phrase someone repeats? A scripture that won't leave your mind? A random opportunity that makes your spirit lean in? Write it down. Pay attention. One whisper from God can recalibrate your entire future. Call to me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. You don't need a parade. You need perception. One divine insight. One God-ordained connection. One yes from heaven. That's all it takes to shift the course of your life. For many of you reading this, that shift is approaching. It's not in the distant future. It's knocking now. Let your faith take the lead this weekend. Don't look for familiar signs, because what's coming has no blueprint in your past. It has no reference point. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. This blessing isn't recycled. It's not repurposed. It hasn't been handed out to someone else first. It's uniquely designed for your steps, your obedience, your story. That's why you cannot afford to compare your path to someone else's. Comparison will rob you of clarity. You may look around and see others distracted, celebrating, or unaware. Don't let that shake you. This is your moment. Own it. Can you feel how specific this is? How personal? Everything that's been delayed is being reordered. Everything that's been detoured is being rerouted with divine intelligence. This moment isn't just about what you're walking toward, it's about who you're becoming while you walk. This Sunday, you will feel the first glimpse of the you that heaven has always seen. The bold version, the healed version, the chosen version. Just like Nelson Mandela walked out of prison with more peace than bitterness, just like Maya Angelou turned pain into poetry that shook the world, so will your transformation begin with this subtle, sacred spark. You won't fully see it yet, but you will feel its fingerprints, and the shift will begin from the inside out. The surprise God is preparing for you is not random, it's calculated, intentional, perfectly timed. It may come quietly, like a whisper in prayer, or in the form of a peaceful knowing. But do not underestimate its reach. That small moment will stretch into dry areas of your life that have felt forgotten. I will pour water on the thirsty land and streams on the dry ground. Isaiah 44:3. This surprise will not shout. It will not demand attention, but its quiet entrance will carry power, just like when Tyler Perry began writing plays in his car while homeless, unnoticed, unseen, but heaven was watching and scheduling everything. The simplicity of the moment doesn't make it small, it makes it sacred. What's been paused will suddenly move. What felt blocked will be swept open. And here's the beautiful truth. This is God's way of reminding you that He never left, that He was orchestrating even in the silence, that He has not overlooked your obedience, your tears, your worship in the waiting. This is not payback. It's promise fulfillment. Can you feel the ground beneath you adjusting? Do you feel a deeper longing, a divine pull? That's not imagination, that's alignment. You may not yet see what this moment is unlocking, but you're already feeling it. The way your dreams have intensified, the way your emotions have risen like unpredictable tides, the way you've been both anxious and excited without explanation. This is spiritual calibration. This is your internal compass pointing north. It's your soul responding to something your mind doesn't fully understand yet. The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children. Romans 8:16. That confirmation you can't explain, that's the whisper of heaven nudging you closer. What if your unease isn't confusion, but preparation? Don't dismiss these recent shifts as emotional turbulence. They are signs, signals, holy symptoms of a deeper work. Everything is aligning, and not just on earth, but in the spiritual realm. Your prayers have stirred movement. Your faith has attracted attention. Your posture has created a landing pad for God's next move. And chosen one, that move begins this Sunday. Are you ready to perceive what's invisible? Are you willing to slow down enough to hear the whisper between the noise? Are you prepared to accept that the most powerful encounters don't always come with fireworks, but with divine stillness? Because this Sunday might not look dramatic, but it will be destiny-filled. And when you feel it, you'll know heaven just touched earth, and you were the target. And here's the part that might catch you off guard, chosen one. This Sunday surprise is not solely about what falls into your hands. It's about who rises from your spirit when it does. The true miracle isn't the gift itself, but the version of you that awakens when heaven recognizes you openly. You won't walk with arrogance, but with a sacred assurance. You'll move differently, not for attention, but from alignment. There's a quiet confidence that enters your posture when you realize heaven has not only heard you, but responded to you. This isn't about finally being perfect. It's about having been faithful. The heavens are not moving because you've done everything flawlessly. They're moving because you kept going when you had every reason to quit. Your faith may not have roared, but it endured. And God honors endurance. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Could it be that your consistency, hidden and uncelebrated, is now being crowned? This is what makes the coming moment so powerful. It is not random, it's relational. Heaven is not rewarding noise, but honoring your silent strength. You are not behind. You have not missed your moment. You are not invisible to the divine. What if the delay wasn't punishment, but protection? What if the long wait wasn't denial, but divine calibration? If what you were asking for had come too early, would you have known how to hold it? Had it arrived too easily, would you have valued it? Now you've been refined. Your discernment has matured. Your depth has expanded. Your capacity is finally ready. That's why now, not last year, not last month, is the perfect time. And as Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. This Sunday isn't just charged with atmosphere, it's charged with assignment. Heaven is dispatching angelic guidance, tailored strategy, and divine insight, but only the tuned in will recognize it. Are you listening? Are you still enough to catch what doesn't come in noise? What if the message isn't in thunder, but in a whisper? This isn't about spectacle. It's about sensitivity. Steve Jobs once said, "Intuition is more powerful than intellect." And that's true in the spirit too. You'll begin to notice internal shifts before external breakthroughs. You'll start to feel nudged to move boldly, to say what you've kept inside for too long, to release what's been draining you, and to step into what used to intimidate you. Why? Because transformation doesn't just happen outside in, it starts soul first. There will be no need for applause or confirmation. What God deposits in you this Sunday will carry its own weight. You won't crave outside validation because you'll be filled with internal revelation. You'll no longer chase what isn't yours, you'll attract what belongs to your destiny. Just like Serena Williams, who trained in silence and then stunned the world with the strength she built privately, so too will your hidden preparation produce public power. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. That's the energy you're stepping into, no longer grasping but receiving, no longer wondering but walking in certainty. That's what this Sunday will ignite, not just a moment, but a movement within you. Let go of the temptation to understand every detail. This isn't a problem to solve, it's a mystery to surrender to. Let go of the need to control how it all unfolds. You're not building a spreadsheet, you're participating in a symphony. This is God's masterpiece in motion, and your job to receive, to respond, and to rejoice. When it's divine, it flows. When it's anointed, it aligns. When it's heaven sent, it doesn't have to be forced, it unfolds. Just like Albert Einstein said, the most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. This moment is just that, heaven's mystery made visible. And now, chosen one, this is your permission to believe again, to dream again, to rise again. The heartbreak you've endured hasn't discounted you, it's deepened you. The doors that closed weren't denials, they were delays, wrapped in grace. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118, verse 22. Those scars on your soul, they're not proof of failure, they're the signature of survival. They qualify you to carry what's coming, because what's next isn't just for your comfort, it's for your calling. It will overflow. It will spill into your relationships, your influence, your legacy. This Sunday isn't ordinary. It's an ordained checkpoint in your destiny. That internal stirring you're feeling, that's not random. That's the Holy Spirit adjusting your frequency. So don't dismiss the little tugs. Pay attention to the quiet urges. When you feel like pausing and praying, do it. When you sense a sudden urge to bless someone, don't second-guess it. These are not impulses, they are instructions. And each one is a thread in the larger divine tapestry being woven for your life. Just as Florence Nightingale once followed a seemingly irrational urge to become a nurse and change the course of healthcare history, so too are you being led, not by logic but by divine instinct. There is a prophetic acceleration taking place, chosen one, and you're standing right in the middle of it. Even if you've recently felt stuck, sluggish, or like your progress was invisible, prepare to feel yourself swept into motion, not by force, but by divine current. This isn't a push you create, it's a pull from heaven. You're about to experience a moment where what was dormant begins to stir, and what was buried inside you starts to rise, not as pressure, but as presence. Have you noticed the shift in your atmosphere? The subtle nudges, the internal sense that something is building beneath the surface? That's not your imagination, that's alignment. What if the spotlight you're about to step into isn't to expose your flaws, but to reveal your God-given glow, the one that's been forming in silence all along? This glow won't come from your hustle. It won't come from striving or proving yourself. It'll come from divine ignition. Think of it like the moment when a match is struck in a dark room, not loud, but undeniable. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61. That's the season you're entering. A time when doors won't need to be kicked open, they'll respond to your arrival. A season where people won't just hear what you say, they'll feel your presence and not even understand why they're drawn to you. This is not performance. This is presence. God's presence radiating from within you. And this Sunday, this is the sacred flashpoint. The divine spark that signals everything is about to shift. Don't look for dramatic fireworks. Look for subtle signs. A dream that feels too specific to ignore. A conversation that unexpectedly resonates. A moment of silence that brings sudden clarity. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. This kind of divine surprise doesn't just change how others perceive you. It changes how you perceive yourself. You begin to see what God has always seen. You begin to walk with the internal clarity that precedes external reward. And that clarity, it will be your compass. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given. James 1:5. So ask, expect, listen. When you wake up this Sunday, take a deep breath and remember, you're not who you were last week. Spiritually, you've been upgraded. You've been recalibrated to receive on a higher frequency. You've been elevated energetically, not because the world has changed, but because something inside you has. That's the real surprise. The shift isn't just happening around you, it's happening through you. You'll feel lighter, not because the load disappeared, but because your soul has been fortified. What once overwhelmed you now passes through you without sticking. You're becoming unshakable. Have you noticed it already? That peace you can't explain. That confidence that doesn't need confirmation. That's what elevation feels like. This moment is when everything begins to tie together. The confusion, the waiting, the subtle nudges you couldn't explain. They were threads. And now those threads are weaving into a divine pattern. What felt random was never random. What felt delayed was never denied. What felt hidden was actually being protected. Like when Beyoncé disappeared from the public eye to prepare for a revolutionary album that shocked the world. Her silence wasn't absence, it was strategy. So too, chosen one, your hidden season wasn't a void. It was a vault, a sacred holding place where your identity was being shaped and your clarity was being sharpened. This Sunday isn't just another date, it's an unveiling. Something you felt in your bones but couldn't articulate is about to be made known. The fog is lifting. The structure behind the confusion is revealing itself. And here's the truth. You were never lost. You were hidden. Hidden to be safeguarded. Hidden so no one could tamper with what God was refining. Hidden so that when your moment came, it would be undeniable that it was Him, not luck, not connections, not coincidence. You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance. Psalm 32:7. Everything you've endured was wrapped in divine intention. And now this Sunday marks the beginning of exposure, but not a forced, flashy kind. Not the kind you chase, but the kind that chooses you. You won't need to post about it. You won't need to defend it. The evidence will be felt. The atmosphere around you will shift. Conversations will feel different. Your presence will carry weight. This is holy unveiling. And here's something crucial. The surprise may not look like the prayer you prayed. It might not come in the form you expected. It could be a hard decision, a conversation that redefines everything, a sudden ending, even a disruption. But don't let that discourage you. Divine surprises often arrive wearing the clothing of confusion. Sometimes the blessing looks like a break. Sometimes the miracle starts with a moment that seems messy. Think of Job, who lost everything before God restored him double. Or Ruth, whose heartbreak became the bridge to her legacy. What if your current discomfort is the wrapping around your miracle? What if God's no was actually a holy redirection to His best yes? You may not recognize it right away, but when you do, you'll know deep in your spirit, God never abandoned you. He was preparing you. You've been feeling it, haven't you? The urge to withdraw, the hunger for solitude, the emotional waves crashing for no clear reason. That wasn't depression, that was divine alignment. Your soul has been syncing up with an ancient rhythm, a prophetic pulse that goes beyond your understanding. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. Your spirit knows what your mind is still catching up to, and everything inside you has been preparing for this Sunday. What's coming your way, chosen one, won't just shift your circumstances, it's going to restore something deeper. Your inner rhythm is being reset. Your divine pace is returning. This Sunday isn't about racing ahead. It's about stepping into the flow of God's timing. You're not running out of time. You're stepping into the exact time you were always meant for. This next move isn't delayed. It's divinely aligned. Grace is not waiting on perfection. It doesn't knock. It enters. Grace doesn't ask for permission to arrive. It invades with softness and certainty. And this Sunday, it will wrap around you like a whisper that says, "You're still right on time." Have you forgotten how heaven moves? It doesn't react to deadlines. It aligns with destiny. And your destiny hasn't missed a beat. Even in moments when you felt lost, like the road disappeared beneath your feet, heaven still had your coordinates. What's happening now is God's signal that the divine traffic is moving again. What once felt gridlocked is receiving a green light. Paths are clearing. Energy is returning. Where you once saw closed doors, there will be invitations. Where you once felt emotionally dry, joy will begin to trickle in. That breath you've been needing is already on the wind. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in their way. Psalm 37:23. This Sunday, you'll begin to feel the motion in places that have long been still. And it may not be loud. It might be a conversation you didn't expect, a nudge to take a step you once hesitated on, a realization that breaks the cycle you've outgrown. Whatever form it takes, the confirmation will be clear. You've changed. You are no longer who you used to be. And now, finally, your outer life is beginning to mirror that inner transformation. Think of someone like Malala Yousafzai. What the world tried to silence became her global voice. Like you, she was refined through fire, but what emerged was power with purpose. That's what this Sunday represents. Not a trophy for surviving, but a transition into thriving. It's not just a reward, it's a release. You didn't ask for applause, you just stayed faithful, and heaven took notice. You were never forgotten. You were being forged, and now the spiritual locks are turning. The blessings you thought passed you by, they've looped back. The dreams you buried because they felt too heavy, they're being unearthed. You were never too late. You were being aligned. And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. Joel 2:25. Healing is coming to places you stopped praying over. Clarity is rising in the areas where you once only had confusion. This time, it won't just return, it will multiply. It will flow into the lives of those around you, not as effort, but as overflow. Here's a deeper revelation. Your name is already moving ahead of you. Your purpose has been whispered in rooms your feet haven't entered yet. There are people preparing to bless you who don't even know your face yet. That's how the kingdom works. God broadcasts your destiny long before it manifests. And this Sunday, it's the turning point from preparation to participation. You're not just being readied anymore, you're being released. But don't try to force the how. This kind of shift isn't created by hustle, it's drawn by alignment. Your only job now is to stay available, stay anchored in peace, keep your spirit clear and uncluttered. That's how you become magnetic to the miracle that already has your name on it. This next chapter won't feel like striving. It'll feel like harmony. You'll feel like you're being carried instead of dragged. You'll begin to see things click instead of clash. That's how you'll know you're in divine flow. And that flow begins this Sunday. So prepare, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Make space. Because what's coming isn't noisy, but it is necessary. It won't demand your energy. It will require your attention. Be ready to recognize it. Be willing to respond. Be reverent enough to respect it. Others might not understand the internal shift you're stepping into, but that's okay. They weren't meant to witness what was reserved just for you. This is personal. This is sacred. This is your sacred appointment. There's something incredibly holy about a surprise from heaven. It doesn't just tweak your plans, it transforms your being. It doesn't just fill your calendar, it reconfigures your chemistry. When God sends something unexpected, it's not to impress you, it's to evolve you. The internal upgrade always precedes the external breakthrough. That's why this Sunday holds such weight, because it's not about what you'll get, it's about what's being resurrected inside you. This is your personal resurrection. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. Can you feel it? That quiet, vibrating energy under the surface. That's not nerves. That's the divine alarm clock sounding off. You are closer than you realize. You've walked through seasons of silence that tried to convince you nothing was happening, but silence is never emptiness when it's God-ordained. It's preparation, like soil that hides its work until the seed breaks ground. You were never still. You were strengthening, and now the fruit of that hidden labor is beginning to press forward. This Sunday is the first sprout breaking through, the first green glimpse of what was always growing beneath the surface. You don't need fireworks to confirm it. You don't need noise to feel its weight. Sometimes the loudest breakthrough speaks in stillness. So be intentional in the days leading up to Sunday. Protect your energy, guard your thoughts. Don't allow external chaos to cloud your internal clarity. This isn't a time to compare paths, it's a time to commune with God. Get quiet, listen deep, because something eternal is whispering your name. It's not a public announcement, it's a divine yes moving in the spiritual realm. You'll feel it before you see it. You'll sense it before you can name it. And when it arrives, don't shrink. Don't hesitate. Don't wait for applause or permission. This moment was marked for you. Faith, chosen one, doesn't always come wrapped in grand signs or spiritual fireworks. Sometimes it shows up quietly, like you saying yes to something you don't fully understand yet. Sometimes faith looks like walking toward a door that hasn't even opened, but knowing deep down that God already placed your name on it. This Sunday, that's the kind of faith heaven is calling you into. Not blind faith, but mature trust. Trust that knows the difference between timing and delay. Trust that understands when you've outgrown an old season, even if the next one still looks blurry. There's a reason this shift didn't happen earlier. You had to shed what was never meant to be permanent. You had to let go of outdated versions of yourself that couldn't carry the weight of your next elevation. Now you're lighter, spiritually, emotionally, even energetically. And now, finally, you're in position to rise. This Sunday is not the start of your journey. It's the visible evidence of the elevation that already took place in the unseen, in the quiet, in the nights you kept believing when no one clapped, in the tears that no one acknowledged but God. This is not about getting ready. This is about realizing you already are. For you have need of endurance, so that after you have done the will of God, you may receive the promise. Hebrews 10:36. Can you feel it? The subtle shift inside that says, I'm no longer waiting to become, I've already become. That is the posture of this moment. You'll know this Sunday moment is divine because it won't bring confusion. It won't stir chaos or trigger anxiety. It will settle you. It will ground you. It will feel like peace tapping you on the shoulder and saying, we're moving forward now. That's how divine timing speaks, not in panic, but in clarity. Even if your mind hesitates, your soul will say yes. You'll recognize it, not as pressure, but as purpose. You won't be chasing a blessing. The blessing will find you. It will feel like alignment. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. Philippians 4:7. That's the kind of peace you're stepping into. Not a reward for perfection, but a seal of favor for remaining faithful when it didn't make sense. For some of you, this divine surprise will arrive as a sudden emotional release, a breakthrough you didn't know you needed, a sacred surrender that brings tears, not of sorrow, but of freedom. For others, it will show up tangibly, an unexpected text, an opportunity out of the blue, a shift in finances, favor in places that once rejected you. Think of someone like Viola Davis, who faced years of rejection but never abandoned her calling. Her elevation didn't come from a single event, but from years of invisible faithfulness. For some of you, this moment may bring reconciliation, hearts healing after long silence. For others, it may be divine redirection, a reroute that saves your soul. But no matter how it arrives, one truth will be universal. You will not be the same after this. Your internal vibration is shifting. The frequency of your spirit is syncing with heaven's next instruction, and that's why this moment had to come now. Any sooner, and it would have been misunderstood. Any later, and you might have doubted your way out of it. But now you're stable. Now you're rooted. Now you're clear. You're not just hoping anymore, you're aligned. And that alignment is magnetic. You don't need to manipulate how this Sunday unfolds. You don't need to orchestrate the outcome. Just show up. Be still. Be open. Bring your surrender, and God will bring the rest. The Lord will perfect that which concerns me. Psalm 138:8. That's not wishful thinking. That's prophetic reality. Let this Sunday be a holy meeting between you and destiny. Don't force it. Don't dress it up in performance. Just be there, with your real heart, your open spirit, and your honest faith, because what's arriving doesn't need your effort. It needs your availability. When it comes, you'll feel heaven smiling. Not because you were flawless, but because you were faithful. Not because you performed perfectly, but because you persevered quietly. That's how favor works. It finds the loyal. And that's who you've been. There's a supernatural stillness just before everything changes. It's not the stillness of waiting, it's the stillness of transition, the sacred pause between inhale and exhale, the moment when heaven leans in to watch you breathe before it breathes back. That's what this weekend holds. The silence you may be feeling right now, that's not absence, it's anticipation. The air is charged with movement. The atmosphere is thick with breakthrough. Can you feel it pressing in around you? The shift isn't on its way. It's already in the room. The clouds are parting. The wind is changing. And your life is about to catch up with what heaven already declared over you. You've endured silent seasons where you questioned whether anything was happening at all. But chosen one, silence doesn't mean stillness. You've been growing roots, not just branches. Even when fruit wasn't visible, faith was taking root. And now the harvest is pushing upward. This Sunday will be the first visible sign, the first green shoot through the soil, the confirmation that everything really was working together for your good. So, do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. Hebrews 10:35. Expect the unexpected. Expect quiet confirmation. Expect divine timing to meet you right where you are. Be intentional with your energy in the hours leading to Sunday. Clear the noise. Protect your peace. This isn't a time for proving anything to anyone. This is communion time. Just you and God. Don't get distracted by other people's timelines. This isn't a moment for comparison. It's consecration. Stay sensitive. Stay tuned in. Because something in the spirit is whispering your name. It's not a big announcement, it's a holy knowing. When it comes, it won't demand attention. It will feel like recognition. When it shows up, don't shrink. Don't wait for others to understand. Don't pause for outside validation. This Sunday isn't just a calendar date, it's a spiritual threshold dressed in the disguise of an ordinary day. To the unaware, it may seem like business as usual, but to you, chosen one, something far more sacred is unfolding. The timing of this moment has been divinely calculated. This isn't a random occurrence. It's not an emotional high or a coincidence of the cosmos. This Sunday has been marked in heaven long before you even knew what you needed. You're not just waking up to a new day, you're being ushered into a new realm. This day is coded with meaning. Every breath you take, every interaction you have, every sensation that feels off or different, is part of that code. Do you feel it already? The quiet sense that something is shifting beneath the surface of your life. That's not your imagination. That's spiritual confirmation. But here's the sacred truth. You don't need to force your way through this threshold. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to convince heaven that you're ready. You simply need to notice. The door doesn't open with effort. It opens with awareness. Pay attention to the subtle things. A feeling of unexpected lightness. A conversation that feels unusually deep. A calm that suddenly rests on your chest without explanation. These aren't random. They're signs. Divine surprises don't arrive through noise or panic. They travel on the back of peace. If something comes to you with pressure or chaos, release it. But if it arrives gently, steadily, with a quiet kind of knowing, you'll recognize God's signature all over it. And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body. Colossians 3:15. This Sunday isn't just about something happening to you. It's about something aligning within you. It's a reconnection, not only between you and heaven, but between your purpose and your present, between your past pain and your future glory, between the scattered fragments of your soul and the divine pattern being stitched back together. All those half-written prayers, those forgotten dreams, those whispered, maybe someday hopes you tucked away in the back of your heart, they're being gathered now. The disjointed pieces of your life are being pulled into order. Integration is happening. And when that happens, clarity pours in like sunlight slicing through fog. You'll breathe deeper. You'll think clearer. You'll move forward, not just with action, but with alignment. And here's the most beautiful part. This moment won't be something you create with your hands. It's something you'll merge into with your spirit. It's already happening in the invisible realm. Angelic instruction is being released as you read this. The very prayers you've long stopped speaking are being answered in perfect divine timing. That's why you felt a stirring, a pull toward quiet lately. It's because heaven is drawing near. And now, let this next truth settle in your soul. You are not just receiving something, you are being called into something. A new spiritual dimension, a higher rhythm, a deeper trust. You felt the tension of isolation not because you were rejected, but because you were being refined. Those around you couldn't understand what you were going through because they weren't meant to. This part of the path required separation, not as punishment, but as preparation. Because what's coming isn't just a blessing, it's an identity shift. No longer will you be labeled the one with potential, but no platform. No longer will you carry the ache of being almost chosen. You will no longer be seen as the one who kept knocking but remained unanswered. This Sunday marks your divine turning point. You're becoming the one who walked through fire and came out radiant. The one who carried prayers in secret and now walks in public reward. The one who stayed loyal to the promise, even when it looked like God was silent. And now, abundance is beginning to chase you down. And abundance doesn't just mean wealth. It means wholeness. It means peace that surpasses all understanding. It means divine connections, spiritual protection, emotional depth, and provision that appears before the problem does. And hear this clearly. You won't need to strive to maintain what's coming. You won't need to hustle, to compromise, or to beg. What's arriving is not sustained by human effort. It is rooted in divine grace. Divine surprises are not held up by your performance. They're anchored in your posture of surrender. That's why they stick, because they're not built on ego. They're built on purpose, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty. Zechariah 4:6. As this begins to unfold, you will also notice a shift inside yourself, a rising inner authority, not ego, not pride, but divine confidence, a knowing that doesn't need applause, a certainty that doesn't need validation. You'll speak less, but your words will carry more weight. You'll act less frantically, but your steps will be more exact. You'll stop needing permission because your spirit will already be in agreement with heaven. This is what this Sunday will unlock. Not just a change in scenery, but a change in stature. You'll carry yourself differently. You won't chase anymore. You'll attract, because you'll be radiating from the inside out. And what follows this Sunday? A chain reaction. One alignment leads to another. One open door reveals another. One insight becomes the key that unlocks three more. That's the rhythm of divine movement. God doesn't operate in isolation. He layers miracles. He builds momentum. And what seems like a sudden blessing will be revealed as something he's been constructing for years in the background. Every delay, every rejection, every painful pause, it all had purpose. Don't you see? You weren't waiting for the blessing to be prepared. The blessing was waiting for you to be prepared. This Sunday is not random. It is sacred. It is your appointment with divine timing. And as you move toward it, chosen one, do so with expectation, not desperation. Clear space mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Protect your atmosphere. Quiet your soul. This is not a time for outside opinions. This is a time for inner clarity, for communion, for intimacy with God, because something holy is whispering your name. And when it arrives, when you feel the atmosphere, pause. When you sense your spirit, exhale. When peace covers you like a second skin, don't second guess it. Don't shrink from it. Don't wait for someone to validate what your soul already knows. This moment is for you, for the one who stayed loyal when it was easier to quit, for the one who carried hope when it was costly, for the one who said yes without the full picture. This is your door, your yes, your divine reward. And the silence you feel right now? It's not emptiness, it's the holy hush before heaven exhales, the pause before the blessing is born, the stillness that means the spiritual waters are parting. Get ready, because this Sunday, the first ripple of something eternal begins, and you, chosen one, are right at the center of it. And now, chosen one, now your spirit is rising into alignment like never before. You can feel it, not in your head, but in your bones. It's a deep knowing that cannot be explained, only experienced. The spiritual shift isn't waiting on permission. It's already begun. The keys to the next chapter are being handed over. The doors that once creaked but never opened are now swinging wide with ease. The resistance that had you feeling blocked, delayed, or overlooked is losing its grip. It's unraveling because it was never meant to hold you forever. It was meant to prepare you for the strength you carry now. And this Sunday will be the evidence, the confirmation, the shift from internal alignment to external activation. You may not see lightning or hear thunder, but don't let the silence fool you. Heaven is moving. The spiritual voltage is rising. You'll sense it in your chest, in your breath, in your timing. Conversations will feel charged. Even silence will feel full. The vibration of divine orchestration will surround you, not loud, but loud within. And when it hits, when that moment finds you, you'll whisper, "This is it. This is the breakthrough I couldn't explain. This is the moment I was made for." Not because everything changes instantly on the outside, but because you finally see what's been happening all along. What's coming this Sunday is not just an external gift, it's an internal recalibration. You'll start interpreting your entire journey differently. Those seasons that made you question everything, those long waits, those heavy silences, those closed doors, suddenly they'll make sense. You'll see God's fingerprint on what looked like failure. You'll recognize the design hidden in every delay. You'll revisit the detours with gratitude because they led you to alignment. What felt like being overlooked was actually God securing your steps. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Psalm 23 verse 5. Yes, while you thought you were being rejected, heaven was just setting the table. And what you're about to witness is not a single blessing, but the beginning of a divine sequence. This Sunday is the entry point, not the entire story. It's the first domino. Once it falls, momentum will kick in. What seemed disconnected will begin to align with shocking clarity. Emails will arrive with new opportunities. Unexpected messages will open new doors. People who seemed distant will reappear with purpose. Favor will find you in places you didn't even know were being prepared. And it won't be because you worked harder. It won't be because you shouted louder. It will be because you endured, you stayed, you stood still while heaven fought for you. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. You'll see how God honors quiet faithfulness. You didn't need a stage. You didn't need recognition. You just needed belief. And you held on to that belief when logic told you to let go. You stayed when your emotions begged you to escape. And that kind of spiritual tenacity, where you didn't pretend to be perfect, but you never stopped showing up, that's what heaven is responding to now. You were never forgotten. You were being refined. And now the refining is turning to revealing. And let me tell you something even more important. This isn't the end of the story. It's the unveiling of the next volume. What's beginning now is going to carry weight. You'll look up weeks from now and realize how much has shifted. Not through force, but through flow. Because when heaven moves, it moves all at once. You'll see movement in your relationships, clarity in your calling, and provision showing up ahead of your need. Things will feel easier, not because life got simple, but because your spirit finally got synced. You are entering a season of divine synchronization. You will walk into rooms and feel peace before you speak. You'll touch things and feel them prosper, not because of you, but because of the anointing that's been cultivated within you. This is divine law in action. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Galatians 6:7. You sowed when it hurt. You gave when you didn't see return. You stayed planted. And now, the harvest is not coming. The harvest is here. As we come to the close of this message, I want to take a moment to thank you. Thank you for staying with me through this journey of prophetic insight and spiritual alignment. Whether you've been listening silently or engaging actively, your presence is felt. Whether you've donated through super thanks or simply showed up with your spirit wide open, I want you to know I am deeply, sincerely grateful. Your support means more than words can capture. And if you have given through super thanks, thank you for sowing into this mission. It's because of your generosity that we're able to keep producing content that touches souls and activates destinies. And if you haven't donated, please hear this from my heart. You are just as valuable, just as loved, and just as blessed. Your engagement, your prayers, your presence, it all matters. And now, I speak this blessing over you. May this Sunday be a day of undeniable divine encounter. May your eyes open to what's already unfolding. May your ears hear the whisper of heaven more clearly than ever before. May every delay in your life be transformed into direction. May every closed door give way to something greater. May the God of peace go before you, walk beside you, and rest upon you. May what's hidden be revealed, what's broken be healed, and what's been dormant in you be awakened with power. You are not walking into just another day. You are walking into alignment, into manifestation, into purpose. This is not the season of effort. This is the season of ease through divine orchestration. This is not the hour of striving. This is the hour of supernatural stillness. This is the moment where the pain of waiting gives birth to the promise. This is the sacred unfolding. And chosen one, you are standing at the center of it. Don't miss it. Don't downplay it. Don't delay it. Stay open. Stay expectant, stay in awe, because this is the Sunday where heaven touches earth and your life will never be the same again.